In both Jack 3 any% and Jack 3 any% no oob, we do a glitch before we ever leave Spargus that allows us to punch and roll jump across the ocean like you see here. Normally when you try to swim in this water, a tentacle will reach up and grab you and kill you instantly. However, this glitch, which we refer to as Invuln 1, makes it both to where Jack can't swim and he can't be grabbed by the tentacle monster, which allows us to access the temple early without using a much slower out-of-bounds strat. This glitch skips a whole bunch of missions, honestly, and allows us to get to the temple early and saves multiple minutes worth of missions, again, both in Jack 3 80% and Jack 3 80% no oob. The glitch that I mentioned, in order to get invuln, we use a method called gun invulnerability or gunvuln, and it is a frame-perfect glitch done within the first minute and a half of the run. The way that we get this glitch is pretty simple, actually. We just shoot on the lava. Granted, there is some nuance to this trick, so let's quickly dive into how exactly we get this glitch. I have a save here immediately after we finish the Spargus fight. So what's going to happen is Jack is going to be immobile on this platform, and it's going to give us a tutorial on how to switch the guns using the directional pad. So I'm going to switch the gun a few times and hold forward on the stick until it lets me move, and then I am going to drop down onto this platform here. Okay. This is the setup that I use in order to get the trick. What we're going to do is we're going to start from a grounded place and we're going to do a spin kick off of the object so that when we finish the spin, or by the time the spin is about to finish, we're going to be on the lava. Now, of course, the lava just kills you outright if you touch it. You'll take about 4 points of health damage in order, like once you bounce off the lava, it'll do 4 points of health damage. The setup that I use, I intentionally bounce once most of the time because it's a consistent number of frames between the first time you hit the lava and the second time you hit the lava. So it makes getting this frame perfect trick a bit easier. The spin kick part isn't actually frame perfect. That doesn't really matter all that much as long as you start from a grounded state when you do it. The part that actually matters is the shot itself. And for some reason, if you spin kick and shoot onto the lava the first time, even if you don't get the trick the first time, it will still consider you in a grounded state. Okay, so I'm going to go for it, and I may not get it, and that's fine. I have some pre-recorded footage of me getting the trick. I did not get it in this case. So we'll go ahead and switch over to the pre-recorded footage. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I want to show before I go on. I have 2 or 3 different clips here. There's another method that you can use that doesn't involve going down onto that platform. Going down onto that platform is faster for a reason I'll get into later. But what most people like to do, because it tends to be the easiest, is they pull out the scatter gun. And you see these 3 braces here. If you land on them, Jack will be stuck in a walking animation as he slides off down towards the lava. This also gives you a grounded spin kick state. So you can walk onto these platforms, Jack will slide off, and then you can try to spin and shoot when you get close to the lava. I'll try that now. Or I'll just miss. Let's try that again. Like that. Yeah. Oh, I managed to get it. Cool. If you get it, Jack will automatically put the gun away. So that's an important thing. There's a couple other quick things of note that I'm going to quickly go over. When Jack is in this state, he can't grab ledges. He also can't pick up items. There's really a lot of stuff that Jack can't do. And actually part of the reason why we can punch and roll jump across the water is because Jack can't swim in this state, is the better way to think of it, and he can't be grabbed by the tentacle. Right now I can't pick up these collectibles because I have the glitch. We call it Invuln 1. And getting the trick the way that we do, I tend to refer to as gun invulnerability or gunvuln for short. So as you can see, I can't pick up any of these items. However, if I were to roll and bonk into the wall, I would then be able to pick up these items. Or if I were to fall down really far and take fall damage, I would be able to pick these items up. If you lose the Invuln 1 state by either bonking, which reverts you to normal, or by falling and splatting, which puts you in the Invuln 2 state, we don't really have time to talk about that. But if any of those 2 things happen, you can no longer punch and roll jump across the water. So if you bonk, it's game over. Or if you splat and take fall damage, like off the elevator here, it's game over. So, as you can see right now, I can't pick up the orb. I'll walk over here, and I'm going to try to bonk on the wall. For some reason I can't. Okay. There we go. I bonked on the chair, and now I can pick up the orbs, and I'm no longer invulnerable either, as you can see there. Okay. So now I'll go over a couple of the methods that we use in order to get invuln. You saw me get the one where we slide off the top just a second ago. That tends to be the slower method. The reason being is the faster you get off the top platform and go down below, the faster the elevator follows you. It ends up being about 2 second-ish faster. So let me go ahead and pull up this other footage really quickly. All right, so here's this. So this is the method that I prefer to use. I'm going to land down here on this platform. I'm going to immediately spin kick off with the gun. Now you can see here, I press R1 well before I hit the lava. I do that because if you press R1 before you hit the lava, Jack keeps the gun out. And for some reason, he's considered in a grounded state even though he's clearly airborne right now. But what's going to happen is as this continues, well, my video lagged, I apologize. I'll be able to spin and shoot again really quickly before I hit the lava. I guess I'm just going to have to keep it in this state so I can use the frame-by-frame advance. So I'm going to shoot R1 slightly before I hit the lava to keep my gun out intentionally, and as I'm falling back down, I'm just going to time a spin and an R1 press on the right frame. The spin kick isn't frame perfect, but there's like a window after you bounce once. Before you can spin, so it's got a slight timing to it if you use the bounce method like I do. I do this because the bounce in between the lava hits is a very consistent number of frames, so this is always going to have the same timing even though it's frame perfect, right? And so then I press R1 on the frame when I would hit the lava, or I guess it's technically like the frame before you hit the lava. But then Jack will automatically put the gun away because he has invuln, and then you can continue on. Sometimes I accidentally mess up my method, and I can get it on the first shot, which one would imagine is actually better. That's the same video, I apologize. Here we go. Should be this take, yeah. So sometimes I accidentally time my R1 input a little later than I mean to when I'm intentionally trying to shoot it early. And I'll end up getting the invulnerability glitch anyway here. So you can kind of see what that looks like. So I automatically spin off. And I just slightly mistime my R1 input for right before I hit the lava. It's like the frame before, or the frame you're supposed to. I'm not 100% sure, but I just know it's frame perfect. And then you'll get the glitch and Jack will put the gun away. The other method that I had here, you can see me using the bonk in order to reset my state because I had invuln and then I bonked. You can still use the bounce method if you use the method where you slide off here. You can see that. I'll miss the first shot and then I'll just come back down and do the second shot. Now Jack won't always keep the gun out. Sometimes after you hit the lava, and if he doesn't keep the gun out, it's because you shot the gun after he hit the lava. So if Jack keeps putting the gun away after you bounce the first time, it's because you're shooting the gun too late. You can actually use this as a method to kind of figure out if you're shooting too early or too late if you keep missing the trick. Because if Jack shoots and the gun stays out, you're pressing R1 too early if you don't get invuln. And, conversely, if you're shooting and then the gun disappears after you hit the lava, it's because you're shooting too late. There is one other method that uses the blaster. But you don't have to use the blaster for it. You can use either gun, but it's a bit easier to use the blaster. So what you'll do is you'll come down here onto this little platform again, and you'll kind of shuffle down the front until you get really close to the lava. Like one more step and you'll touch it. You'll pull out the blaster to sort of line your feet up like so. This position is it's exact depending on how you like to time spinning and shooting. So kind of mess around with the setup a little bit to find what's comfortable for you. And then all you're going to do is like move, spin, and shoot all in quick succession so that you end up spinning while you're still on the platform, but pressing R1 the frame you hit or just before you hit the lava. Like that. you can see the sequence of inputs is pretty quick here. So we'll go ahead and kind of go through the frame by frame if VLC doesn't act weird. Sometimes it acts weird if you do frame advance. So I'm moving and pressing spin kick right at the same time, and just after I move, I'm pressing R1. It was just a couple of frames later, maybe 2 or 3. Well, it jumped through my footage again. All right. So yeah, I spin kick and I started moving, and it was, so this is the first frame, second frame, third frame, fourth frame, fifth, sixth. So about the 6th frame, I pressed it again. All of these are just really a matter of preference, whatever you feel the most comfortable doing. Because again, doing the rebound shot that I do tends to be the fastest way, again, because the elevator is falling, and by the time you finish, you have like just enough time to go and move on to the elevator. So this is just my preferred method because the timing tends to be the most consistent. I'm still, on my best days, I get this like 50 to 60% of the time. Some days I can do really well and get it about 70, but those days are pretty rare. So it's a hard trick, but essentially what you have to do after you get this is you just have to punch and roll jump all the way to the ocean without bonking on anything and without splatting, which isn't incredibly difficult, but it can be a bit more challenging than it sounds. That's pretty much the ins and outs of the trick. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped. All right, bye-bye.